Hey, y'all, Irix Guy here. Welcome back to another live show. I want to remind everyone this evening I will be doing a show from the studio. Came up last night. I was going to do a live show from the studio, but I had a headache and I never did the studio show like I'd promised. Instead, I joined in on Archibald Chesterfield III, AC3. I joined in on his live stream and did that instead. I see a truck driving down the street. I'm going to make sure they're not bringing me something. I think they may be. Are they? Nope. They drove by. Early morning walk. That's right, Stingray Ariel. Welcome aboard, sir. Always good to have you. What's up with the Stingray this morning? Hey, get out and burn that fat ASAP. You know, some people say if you start your cardio routine in the morning, that you burn fat throughout the day. Stingray Ariel says, are you getting the Mavic 3? You know what? Is safe to say, DJI, they discontinued, and I don't know, the verbiage was kind of loose, it may come back, it may not, but they at least suspended their affiliate program. So, now, if I build up enough, if people shop my website, you can go to irixguy.com and shop my links there, or any of my drone videos. The link, when you expand the video's description and click the top link, if enough people shop my links, then I'll have the cash to be able to pick one up. But here's the thing, the drones, obviously they're still very popular, but it's not the surge of demand like it was initially, because initially, I was able to people choosing to shop my links, I was able to make enough commissions to be able to afford these drones. I had to put in a significant amount of cash, but at least I had the commissions to help offset the huge expense. So if my channel, if I get a lot of super chats, if I get a lot of Patreons, channel memberships, people shopping my links, then hopefully I'll be able to do it. But right now it's just spending is down in general, just because of the this economy that we're in right now. So I'm hoping I get enough support to be able to do it, because I'd love to get it and I'd love to take it out. I'd love to do my field tests, unboxing and all that, but I don't want to purchase something that let's say worst case scenario, let's say it crashed, which has never happened. No, I did crash a Phantom. It was my own fault. But if something unforeseen occurred, I don't want to be in a situation where I'm out that much money, especially right now. I mean, these times are because of the just the everything that's going on in the world. It's not I'm running the channel very leanly right now, I guess is the best way to put it, because you never know what could happen tomorrow or a week from now or a month from now. I mean, it's these times are very uncertain, and I just I'd love to get it. So if I get enough support on the channel memberships, super chats, people shopping my links, to be able to justify it, definitely I'll be all in, because I love drones. But if I don't, it's I hear you always like the drone evangelist. Yeah, speaking of that, I need to bring the drone evangelist back and do an update from him, because I know he's got a lot of interesting stuff to say about drones. And maybe that's what I do. Maybe the drone evangelist, he was locked up in a Bermudian prison, and maybe he gets out of jail, and maybe he comes back and starts talking about drones. Maybe that'll help drum up channel contributions. And yeah, he's got to come back. I mean, yeah, he's been in Bermudian jail, and not some of the roughest jail conditions, but it's You know, it's not a Supermax, but it's still, an undesirable place to be. So I'm gonna get the drone evangelist out of the Bermudian jail and see what he has to say. Actually, maybe he'll bust out of there today. We'll see, because I want to. Yeah, man, I got to get this stuff going, and that. Well, there's that. Now the DJI Action 2, the Action 2 camera, I'll probably be picking that up quite certainly, because the price point is probably, very approachable. But this Mavic 3, the price point of it is a little, I mean, on this channel, it's always been about ROI, return on investment. And if you've got a huge expense and you can justify that, if you spend this, then you might see a return of whatever. That's smart business. But, if you see something that's, well, if I, hypothetically, if I spend, let's say $2,500 US and the return's only $1,200, then, at that point, it's tough, I don't know. But yeah, drone evangelist, definitely gonna get him out of the Bermudian jail and have an update from him, because that's long overdue. Speaking of that, everyone, if you haven't seen the Drone Evangelist, you can go to droneevangelist.com. You can also find them on epicdroneshow.com. So speaking of that, Stingray, what do you think about the drone industry today? Do you have any thoughts? I mean, it can be, got to get back, just had to stop by, have a great day. Oh, you too. Thanks for dropping in. Always a pleasure to have you, Stingray Ariel. See you soon. So yeah, we got drones. We got, again, the Appalachian Trail. That's the big adventure. I got to get out there and, sleep in the wilderness with the bears. So that's, that's a big thing. Looking forward to putting those videos out for everyone. Also got, be doing some more Govna 706 PS5 live streams. That's always a fun thing to do. But, it's one of those things you gotta balance all the content. Got a lot of coin videos that are in the studio right now that are being professionally edited, and those will be up soon. But coins are an interesting thing, because there's a lot of people that enjoy collecting, not just coins, but enjoy collecting a variety of things. And I like to put content out for the viewers that is greenfield, meaning that it'll probably never go out of style, and content that is, that is good for all age groups. And coins are one of those things, man. Definitely. Whew. It's getting hot, man. It rained, and now it's just like all sweaty, which is a good thing. You gotta sweat to get some exercise. You don't exercise, man, you get fat. And I'm not too fat, but I'm fat enough to where I know I'm fat, and I don't like that. Yeah, it's personal preference. I call it like I see it. There's no PC, politically correct speech here. If I want to refer to myself as fat instead of overweight, if I want to refer to myself as obese, I can do that. Personal preference, freedom of speech. So yes, I walk to combat the fat. Combat the fat with a walk and a talk, because we're walking and talking. Can you chew gum and do something else at the same time? Are you that? Communications. See, communications. So yeah. Yahoo. Whew. Yeah, burning a little bit of calories here. I hadn't burned much at all. I burned about 140 so far. That's nothing, because I had air fried fish sticks and air fried cheese sticks for breakfast. So yeah, not the healthiest thing, but just trying to eat up a lot of stuff I got in the freezer before before I restock. I've got one of those high points or hot point, which is it's a deep freeze actually, and this wasn't planned, but I got it a few months before the pandemic kicked in, when freezers were plentiful and the prices were still low. And the justification was, well, I had 2 refrigerators. My primary, which is my Samsung, which I like, it's in the kitchen, but I had my old refrigerator, which was in pretty bad shape, and I put it in the garage, and its sole purpose was to keep beer refrigerated. But I'm like, do I really need that? Is there something better I could do? So I replaced the old janky refrigerator that was in the garage, refrigerator/freezer. I replaced it with a chest freezer, so a deep freeze. You can put a lot of stuff in. Now, the advantage to those is that, and check out my Hot Point freezer video on my channel, but the advantage to those deep freezers is that you can put a bunch of stuff in there. Frozen vegetables, frozen meats. The disadvantage is that to get to the stuff on the bottom, you've got to remove the stuff from the top. So, when this pandemic hit in full effect, a few months after I bought that freezer, I stocked it up, when things were starting to get a little bit dicey. So bought a bunch of steaks, bought a bunch of stuff that I felt would, be good to have, because I like to cook. I like to eat well. So I had all that, and I've almost eaten through all of it. So, you don't want to keep stuff in a deep freeze for a long time. So my objective now is to just eat through and then start over. And, with that deep freezer, everything's in a layer. So your oldest stuff's typically on the bottom. What you don't want to do with a deep freezer is continue to eat the stuff on the top and leave the stuff on the bottom. Because if you do that, the stuff on the bottom has been on there the longest. It's been in there the longest. And even if stuff's frozen, there's, and I don't know how much I trust the government about anything, but, there are government agencies that say, well, if you're freezing meat, you should only keep it this long. If you're freezing whatever, you should only keep it this long. Yeah, I don't really trust the government, but there are things like that. They're kind of common sense. It's like, well, if you freeze something, obviously you don't want to keep it in there multiple years and then eat it. You want to keep it in there a reasonable amount of time. The whole value add of having a deep freezer is that you could purchase something, freeze it, and not have to eat it immediately. Because most things that are kept in a refrigerator, they expire a lot more quickly than something that's frozen. So, that's the value add of having a deep freezer. So, yeah, right now it's my objective, just kind of eat through it. Eat through the cheese sticks and the fish sticks and that sort of stuff. I've already eaten through all the beef. That was that was quick and easy to do. But yeah, so that's just how it is, man. Deep freezers are great, but just be aware of how long you've had stuff in there. And it's I don't know. One thing I regret is that I had a lot of stuff in there a few months ago, and I didn't really stock up on the crops. I had crops, man. I had corn, I had okra, I had squash. I had all these crops. And I wish I had frozen more of that, because, you go to the grocery store and you buy frozen corn or frozen whatever vegetable. It's never as good as what you got out of the garden and froze freshly. That's just how it goes. So, yeah. By the way, I owe y'all a video, and thanks everyone for tuning in. I see a bunch of people coming in. I'm actually going to do a follow-up review of the Wahl, W-A-H-L, these hair trimmers that I use. So something I've done, not just for convenience, but, also to save money, is I just cut my own hair, man. I got these trimmers. They got a long power cord, and I just crouch down in the in the bathroom floor, and I cut my hair with these trimmers. So do a video of that. Definitely something you probably want to pick up if you haven't purchased your hair trimmers yet. They're great. They come in several different levels. I started out with a basic tier. You can see both of the videos on my YouTube channel now. Just search for WAHL. But yeah, the basic tier, they started getting, and again, they paid for themselves probably 30 or 40 fold, you know, if you calculate the cost of haircuts. But finally, they just got really janky, and I threw them away. But the new pair is a higher end pair, and that's what I'm going to use to cut the hair today. And it's, you know, it's like anything else. You know, you're doing it. I don't have a lot of mirrors, so it's not like I can see the back of my head. So there's techniques, and I'm going to share that. So it's really not that difficult, and I think you'll see in the video that I'm about to film. And that's why I'm doing an early walk, so I can get all hot and sweaty, and then I can do the haircut, and then immediately following the haircut, just do the, you know, hop right in the shower and wash all the hair off. You know, it's all about procedures. You know, don't cut your hair and go out and do something, because you're gonna have hair all over you. You're gonna get it all over your car seats and everything. But if you cut your hair and then immediately hop in the shower, you just wash that stuff off. Have a vacuum cleaner staged in the hair cutting area so that you can just vacuum it up. I mean, it's not rocket science, y'all. It's really not. But yeah, I've saved, it's crazy. Now the new pair I got, they were more expensive. You know, they're the fancy WAHL, which is wall clippers. But you know, I felt that the additional cost was worth it. These new ones, you can feel them when you hold them in your hands. They've got a more premium feel. Not that the previous pair felt cheap, but these have a more premium feel. And also the power cord is a little bit longer. Well, people say, well, why does that matter? Well, it does, because now I don't have to fumble with an extension cord. I can just plug it in. I can step an acceptable distance away from my sink, and I can trim my hair. The thing you want to do, though, is remember that you can always go shorter, but you can't go longer. So, you know, if you use too short of a trimmer, it's not like you can just put the hair back. It's got to grow back. So my best advice is, the first time, if you choose to do this, the first time is to get a longer guard. This little piece that attaches to the clippers. Get a longer one, see how it looks, and then, you know, document so that next time you trim your hair, you know, okay, well, you know, if I want it on the side short, I'm going to use a 2. That's what I use. But keep in mind, there's summer and winter. So, you know, during the summer, I like to use a 2 on the sides and like a 4 on the top, because there's a little bit of difference there. You know, you got the sides that are really short. You got the top that's a little bit longer. You know, it makes it look like a more convincing haircut. You know, not something you did by yourself in your bathroom. So, you know, something to remember. But in the winter, you know, you might use a 2 on the sides, but on the top you might use a 6 or an 8, you know, to keep it extra long. And again, that's just a matter of personal preference. So, you know, that's however you want to do it. And I do, since it is kind of winter, or not winter, but I mean winter's approaching, I want to make sure I've got it a little bit longer. And then also, you know, being on the Appalachian Trail, I want to have a little bit of extra hair on my head for warmth, because when you're backpacking at over 6,000 feet, you know, every 1,000 feet that you ascend, the temperature drops by a few degrees. So, you know, it's going to be it won't be in the single digits, it'll be in the double digits, but, you know, having a little bit extra hair on the head is nice. And then also when you're doing marketing videos, YouTube videos, whatever, it's good to have, you know, to have a little bit of hair. I mean, make yourself look somewhat successful. I mean, you don't want to cut your own hair and make yourself look like a bum, and that's easy to do, you know, the first time you try this. So, you know, it's not that difficult. And again, the only reason I tried it is because, you know, when this pandemic thing first hit, in 2020, well, the hair places were closed anyway. And then I got to thinking, man, it's like, I'm spending this much to have somebody cut my hair. Couldn't I just do this? And sure enough, I did by default. And now I just, I don't look back. I mean, my thing is with a haircut, I know there's a lot of people and they think, oh, you gotta, if you're hanging out with snooty people every day and, they've got, that type of crowd, then somebody will notice that, it was a do-it-yourself haircut versus a stylist. Somebody will notice that. Things like the back of the head around the corners is kind of rounded instead of straight. Those professional touches that, people know that, oh, hey, that's an expensive haircut. But, my philosophy is I can trim my own hair, do it convincingly enough to where I can go to, a snooty dinner or go anywhere and people not really notice. And the people that do, those are people that are just snooty anyway, and they'll just always be that way. So, my thing is it's all about the watch and the shoes. So if I've got a high quality timepiece on the wrist and a nice pair of shoes, or just being barefoot, that's what makes a statement. It's not the haircut, but some people think it is. So, it's, you can't win everything, but the main thing is that my thing is all about just operating as inexpensively as possible. And that's just making smart decisions. And I mean, if one of those decisions is trimming your own hair to save 30, 40, depending upon where you live geographically, haircuts could be $100. But in poor towns and all that, a haircut even in a poor town's probably $30, $40. So at a minimum, by choosing to cut your own hair, that one-time investment, the initial investment of the wall is Nate O. Welcome, Nate O. Hey, Nate O, I've got timepieces for tomorrow live show from the studio this evening. So I'm going to be sending that invite out shortly. But yeah, you can cut your own hair. And again, I'm going to do a follow-up video because I'm about to do this hair trimming and just show you, because I haven't demoed the new clippers. I only demoed the previous ones. Yes, sir. Yeah, NATO, very cool, man. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. And anybody that wants to, that chooses to join in live, you can join in with voice only, or you can join in face on video. I will have, and this will be in my professional studio. So if you've got Skype on your phone or Skype on your computer, you can choose to dial in. You don't have to be face on video, but if you want to, it's cool. And we'll just chat about, wristwatches, timepieces for tomorrow. That's what it's all about, wristwatch collecting. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. But yeah, this show, the walk show, just kind of talking about, how to save a buck here and there. And, that's one of the biggest focal points. And again, ROI, and I reiterate this over and over, return on investment. So in the example of the hair trimmers that I'm about to film a follow-up demo of, or review of rather, the example of the hair trimmers, I mean, you're looking at an affordable cost of entry. So after the first haircut or two, those clippers have paid for themselves. So once you've hit that, then it's like free haircut territory. It's like, okay, well, if I gone to the barber or the hairstylist, I would have spent X number of dollars. These clippers cost X amount. And again, you can find them linked on my website, WAHL. On my website, just go to irisguy.com and search for WAHL, and you can find them. They're very affordable. But probably after a haircut or two, you're probably going to break even. Again, depending upon where you live geographically. Because if you're in New York, man, those haircuts up there are over $100. But in a small town, maybe $20, $30, $40. So, you hit that break even point. And NATO says, oh, I haven't had a haircut in like 3 months because of lockdown. Yeah, exactly. And that's why I got into cutting my own hair with these trimmers. So I'm excited to share that video with y'all here in an hour. So I'm going to trim very shortly, and I'll just show you the entire process, the trimming, the cleanup, and everything that I do to trim my own hair in an organized and clean fashion. So it's pretty interesting. But yeah, ROI, return on investment. There's so many things, just like hair clippers, that you can get. And once you've broken even, at that point, you know, you're riding freebies. You're getting free haircuts. Yeah, it takes time. Time is money. But yeah, it also takes time to go to a hair salon or a barber shop, because you gotta take the time to book the appointment. You gotta go. Even if you got an appointment, there's probably somebody taking longer than they should, so you gotta wait. You gotta incur the drive time to and from. Whereas with clippers, just pop them out. Replace your own plastic water pump. You know, I wonder if, that's funny, plastic water pump. I know BMW has them. I wonder if Audis have a plastic water pump. That's something I'm curious about, NATO. Plastic water pump. Yeah, so, but yeah, we're gonna get all over this, man. I am super excited about this evening's live show, Timepieces for Tomorrow. And by the way, I've got all of the Timepieces for Tomorrow merchandise, and it's available below any of my videos, including this one. You can find stickers, coffee mugs, t-shirts, sweatshirts, all kinds of stuff. And I've got more merchandise that I'm designing. And that's just a way to show your support of the Timepieces for Tomorrow live show. What watch are you wearing right now? I'm not wearing a watch. I'm wearing an Apple. I don't even call it a watch, but yeah. When I do this fitness stuff, I always wear that it's a fitness tracker. You know, a lot of people say, oh, well, Apple's the #1 watch brand now. They finally surpassed Rolex. It's not a watch. It's a digital gadget. I like it. I mean, it's a fitness tracking tool for me. And then also I use it for GPS and all kinds of stuff like that. I mean, it's a handy gadget, but would I wear it outside of exercise? No. I mean, the only thing I'll wear is a proper mechanical wristwatch. And that's yeah, Series 1 had its flaws because it didn't have the water resistance that Series 2 and newer had. That was the only reason I didn't get in on 1, and I waited for 2 because I wanted to swim with it. But yeah, I mean, I think that, now, do you wear your Apple Watch only when you work out, or do you wear it other times? When do you wear it? So it's like, man, if I don't wear like a mechanical, and mechanical being, you can have a manual wind piece like a Panerai, that's mechanical, except it's manually wound, or automatic like a Submariner or most anything else. So, I always wear something mechanical. I don't want, and if it's something where I may be near water, it's always going to be with a screw down crown. If it's something where I should be dry and more of a formal thing, then I could wear something like a JJ LeCoultre. I actually sold it ages ago and just wear my automatics. Yeah, man, that's what you should do. Main reason I still wear the Apple Watch is because when I do the Schwinn IC4, which is my magnetic resistance exercise bike, if I'm doing in-studio workouts, it's nice to be able to track my heart rate and all of that using this Apple. So yeah, I mean, that's another nice use case for it. Again, fitness. It's not, some people, they get the aftermarket bracelets or the first party bracelets for this and try to make them look fancy, and they opt for the stainless steel case and spend more for the Apple Watch. And again, everybody's different, but I just get the cheapest Apple Watch I can get. This is actually, until today, because they just released the Series 7, this is the Series 6. Until today, this was the most current, and I just got the base model, aluminum, the cheapest one they had, and the smallest size. So, it does a good job. Actually, speaking of the Apple Watch Series 7, it just became available for order. It doesn't really add anything new. It charges faster. They say the screen, you got a little bit more larger screen. I mean, even on the small one, you've got more screen real estate. I don't care about that. This one does everything I need it to do. And until Apple releases a new Apple Watch that brings more tech to the table, well, I think the new one, I'll have to pull it up. I think the small one may be a 40. This one right here, I think, is a 40. Because this is the smallest of the Series 6. I think the current generation Series 7, I think they've got a 40. And actually, I'm thinking it may even, the large one of the Series 7 may be larger than 44. Because I pulled it up when I was well, keep this show honest. While I was using the bathroom, I pulled it up. I was researching the new Apple Watch that just came out, and I'm like, okay, they got a reasonable size and they got this astronomical size. I don't want anything that big, you know, whether it's a fitness tracker or a proper automatic or mechanical watch. The largest that I wear is I think it's a 47, is the Breitling Super Avenger with the Pro 2 bracelet, or I alternate it with a leather strap and deployment clasp. But that's today's standards. 47 is huge. I still like it though. I mean, when I bought that thing, a Super Avenger, I was in Charlotte Amalie, which is in St. Thomas in the United States Virgin Islands, and it was a really cool experience because we went up. It was actually my wife and I. We got in this yacht, and it, you know, some people would chuckle at it, say that's not a yacht, but it was about a $2.5 million vessel, and we got in that, and they pulled us up. The captain pulled us up right on the 45 millimeter. That's it. Pulled us right up in front of Charlotte Amalie waterfront shopping. And all these people walking by like, who is that? You know, just getting off this yacht. I mean, it was kind of like it was a really nice boat. Like I said, about $2.5 million boat. But we just got out and walked ashore and went in the Breitling boutique, and that's what I ended up with, was a Super Avenger. And I would sell it, but it was, you know, it's like most every wristwatch you pick up. You know, it's got a story behind it. And it's not like I picked it up in the gray market and I could just let go of it. If that had been the case, I probably would have sold or traded it, you know, before the larger timepieces really started to take a dive, because they, you know, and again, things can change. I mean, right now, the big trend is smaller wristwatches being around 39, 40 millimeter, but, you know, there's a big thing with green right now, green dials. We're going to get into a lot of this in the timepieces for tomorrow live show this evening, but it's funny how it changes. So, you know, keep in mind, as trends change, they can always change back. So, you know, that piece could become highly desirable again if the shift back to larger wristwatches occurs. And it's funny with those, because if you get used to wearing something above about a 44 mil, and then say you go in and, you know, you're in an AD somewhere and you're trying on 40 and 42 millimeter, or 39, or even a 36, you're trying those on, they just feel like toys if you've been wearing a large watch for a long time. Likewise, if you've been wearing what I like to refer to as the standard and current sizes, 39 to 42, if you're used to wearing those, and you've been wearing those for a few weeks or a few months, and then you try on like a 44 or something obnoxiously large like a 47, it feels ridiculous. And, you know, it's a matter of, it's like anything else. If you go to the dentist and you get some new porcelain veneers put in, you know, fake teeth, you get those put in. The first day or so, the first few hours, it feels like you've got something in your mouth. The next day, it still does. But after a week or so, they feel like normal teeth. And that's the same with that's the same with the wristwatch. You know, if you just put something on, if you're used to something radically smaller or larger, it's going to feel weird temporarily, and then you get used to it. So for that reason, I'm not a flipper. I don't buy and sell or trade. And again, if there's a wristwatch that tells a cool story, which that one does, I mean heck, you know, rolled up on a $2.5 million yacht, small yacht. You know, there's all different levels of success in this world, but it was still an impressive boat. It's still an impressive vessel. So pulled up, got out, went to the watch dealers, authorized dealers on St. Thomas, Charlotte Amalie waterfront, and bought that. That's what I bought. And I wouldn't sell it or trade it for that reason. Although the value of that piece, it more than doubled, because, after it came out, it became very popular and you saw a lot of celebrities wearing it. And then the large wristwatch kind of died out. Orlando Santiago, let's see what Orlando says. My Series 7 just got delayed from today to Monday. Nice upgrade from my old Series 2. Oh man, without a doubt. It's funny you say that, because actually I've got the Series 6, and when I upgraded to the Series 6, I upgraded from the 2. The 2 was the first one that I had, Apple Watch Series 2, just because it had the water resistance. I could swim with it, whereas the Series 1 didn't. So yeah, that's a major upgrade, man. I think I'm going to hold on. I'm going to wear this 6 until I don't really see a difference. I mean, what you did was smart, but I can't justify going from 6 to 7. But when they bring the 8 out, which will probably be next year, they seem to be on an annual refresh now. If it has something significantly better, I'll probably pick up the Series 8 and upgrade from the Series 6. So we'll just see. I mean, again, I'm all about smart purchase decisions. So if it's not going to add a lot of value, why do I need to? You know, in my case, going from 6 to 7 would not be, in my opinion, a significant leap. So I'm going to stick with this until they come out with the next one, and may not even go with it. I'll just see. But yeah, really appreciate all of y'all tuning in, man. This is just the walk show, you know, poor quality camera angle and modest audio. But yeah, so mark your calendars. I'm going to film the wall do-it-yourself haircut video, so I'll be putting that up, so check it out. And then also here in the next few hours, I'll be posting the invite on my main page. So go ahead and bookmark it and share, and tune in. Share with your friends too. Share on your social media, and hopefully we'll have a huge turnout for this evening's Timepieces for Tomorrow live show. Again, Timepieces for Tomorrow live show. It's all about wristwatches. So, you know, ask your questions, share your stories. You know, let's have a lot of fun with it. And again, if y'all want to tune in, be sure to, you know, as soon as the show starts, I'll post the link that you can use to join by way of Skype. You don't have to. You can just join the chat. But if you want to tune in, you can tune in audio only, or you can choose to do face on video. So if you got Skype on your smartphone or your computer, if you don't, and you want to join in tonight, be sure to install it, because I'll post the link, and it's really, you know, at that point, it's just a matter of clicking the link and joining. So really appreciate y'all's loyal viewership, your super chat, subscribe to my channel, shop in my links. You know, you go to my website, you can find all my product links, any of my videos. Check below, you can find a link to my Amazon, my store on Amazon. Deeply appreciated. So thank y'all. I burned enough fat for now, and we're gonna be doing that live show this evening. Y'all be safe. Can't wait.